Ow! Mario, you okay? That was your head, man! Well, that was your everything, but mostly your head. You just collapsed like an accordion. That's not good for anybody. Let alone a superhuman plumber who can do feats of superhuman strength. It's not healthy even if you're somebody that healthy. Hey guys, Zack here, and welcome back to Super Mario 3D All-Stars. So in the last episode we tried to race a penguin and lost repeatedly. And I don't really feel like doing that one today, so I'm going to do one of the secret stars today. And I know exactly which one I want to do. It's up here. Let's see if I can actually get a running start so I can actually do it. If I can get in there. There we go. Yeah, we're doing this one because I know this one is a bit rough. This one requires underwater controls, so as long as you remember to pick up your coins, you'll be fine, but it's definitely one of the harder ones to be sure. You need to collect 8 red coins underwater. Yeah, the underwater stages, believe it or not, are probably one of my more fun ones. I'm one of those weirdos who likes underwater stages in a game, so sue me. But we need to collect 8 of these little red coins, so that we can do our job. Yeah, I figured I would do this one since this one's relatively easy and painless. I was trying to find this one at the end of the episode, but I just decided I couldn't. I just decided I was tired and needed to, I wanted to move on to something else, so I decided to stop recording Super Mario 3D All-Stars and pick up something else. I don't think the one I want is even required to actually beat the game. I think you need at least 80, but I don't think I'm going to 100% any of the games on my own time. I'm just going to collect enough that I can open up the doors and get through. But I am going to at least visit every single stage and try to 100% them to the best of my ability. Because I know I need 80 by the end of the game. So, yeah, that's important. There's one in the corner. This one's relatively tame, relatively easy. I like this one. Yeah, the underwater ones are fun. I love the underwater ones. Okay, and there's one in the corner. Alright. Okay. And now I need to pick this one up to be able to move on. And I think that one was relatively short. So I think what I want to do for collectible-wise is, since I didn't collect a Power Star yesterday, well, last episode, I figured I would collect 2 this time, just so I'm still keeping pace. I feel that's more than fair. One of the Castle Secret Stars. Alright, save and continue. And that should open the way to... This is the one I wanted to do this episode, and this was the one I was going to do regardless of what happened last time. So, what I want to do... can I do it? Will the game let me do it? Where is it? Where is it? No, I can't. I cannot, in fact, turn my neck around complete 180 like an owl. That's not some... Mario has a lot of power-ups and abilities he's gotten over the years. That is not one of them. There we go. Stare directly in the sun. Hello. Welcome to the Wing Cap course. Step on the red switch at the top of the tower in the center of the rainbow ring. When you trigger the switch, all the red blocks you find will become solid. Try out the Wing Cap. Do the triple jump to take off and press the other land. Pull back on the L stick to go forward and tilt the nose down just as you would flying an airplane. Yep. Yeah, if you wanna... Yeah, this is how you fly. This is one of my favorite power-ups they've ever introduced in Mario. You stepped on the wing cap switch. Wearing the wing cap, you can now soar through the sky. Now wing caps will pop all out of the red blocks you find. Would you like to say it? Yes, I would. The wing cap is important. You need the wing cap to actually do a lot of things in this stage. Yeah, and now I believe this is one of the harder stars to collect, but there is indeed a star in here if you want to get it. Yeah, and this one does, and falling out doesn't kill you, which is very good. But this one's particularly difficult because you gotta constantly pull up on the stick. You gotta collect 8. You gotta collect. Yeah, it's another red coin one. I seem to be fond of the red coins. We seem to be fond of the red coins today, but yeah. Then in all 4 corners of the map, they're not particularly hard to get. I remember this from the Super Mario 64 DS. As a matter of fact, I think this is the only tower that got transferred over. All the other ones were repurposed as power flowers. Yeah, all the other caps were repurposed as power flowers. The invisibility cap was repurposed and used as Luigi. The Mal cap was repurposed and used for Wario. Overall, they redid a lot of things, but okay, yeah, overall they just repurposed a lot of things from the original Mario 64 and made it into new things. They also added 2 stars, I think, to every stage, which makes it a little bit longer. And that's a good thing. Longer playtimes are no problem as long as you don't dawdle on them. Adding content to a game is not a bad thing. As long as you don't waste the player's time in the process. Be respectful of their time, and try to do something, and try to actually respect what the player wants to do. It's actually something I'm not particularly fond of in games. One game in particular does it a lot worse than any other game that I know of. And that's what's it called? It's called what is it? Bravely Default. The original Bravely Default. Apparently, I've never played it. But I know for a fact that after a certain point, what happens is the game just kind of loops over and over for several chapters, and it's not fun. I'm not a big fan of that, and I really don't like it when games do that. Just wasting players' time for the sake of wasting the player's time. That's not fun. That's adding padding for the sake of adding padding, and I'm not a big fan of that. Yeah, it goes on for another, it goes on for, 7 chapters or something crazy like that. So it's not fun. If you're, yeah, and then also they made Bravely Second, which I'm not entirely sure if they fixed any of the problems in the original. And then there's Bravely Default 2, which released more recently on the Nintendo Switch. I haven't played either of them because I know the first one had that problem. And I'm not playing any of the sequels because I'm concerned that they didn't fix any of those problems. They basically just loop the same chapter over and over for several chapters. It is not fun. If you like Bravely Default, good on you. You managed to find a game that that is generally very repetitive and made it and fixed a lot and found enjoyment in spite of that. That's a good thing. I am not very... Yeah, if I can do it in one pass, I will. This one's particularly hard, not so much because it's long. It's not so much it's hard as it is tedious. This one is very doable. It just takes a bit of trial and error. It just takes trial and error and maybe a little bit of skill. It's nothing big. It's nothing big. Yeah, and also... Ow! Mario, are you okay? That was your head, man! Well, that was your everything, but mostly your head. You just collapsed like an accordion. That's not good for anybody. Let alone a superhuman plumber who can do feats of superhuman strength. It's not healthy even if you're somebody that healthy. Yeah, I always struggle with this one because it takes a bit of a steep learning curve to actually figure out how the wing cap works. Yeah, I don't know how to... If falling out of the world doesn't cost you a life here, so it's fine. You can do as much as you want. That's the benefit of that. You can... And also you can pick up coins in the overworld to heal yourself if you absolutely need to. Which I do because I hurt myself, but... Because I somehow managed to hurt myself in a level where you can't die. That's not good, but, well... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. Yeah. I think the idea is that you're supposed to do it in one sitting, but I'm not very good. So, bear with me. I'm having fun with this one. This one's a lot more fun than the penguin one. We'll just say that one. We'll just put a pin in that one, and if I ever wind up deciding to do it, I'll do it, but... I sailing through the sky. I'm not... This one's a lot lower than I think it is, so... Mario's crashing. Okay. Picking up another one. And hopefully we can get the other one. We need some more height. So unfortunately I don't seem to be gaining any sort of height. Don't seem to be gaining any height. I seem to be... Yeah, I lost momentum. Yeah, once you lose momentum, the wing cap effectively becomes useless. It's not it's not exactly fun. It's not exactly the most fun I can have. It's not exactly a fun time here. The wing cap is the best power up in the game, by the way. Is well and away my favorite, and it's a shame that they never actually brought it back in a substantial way. They've done other power-ups similar to that, but they've never actually done anything else with the wing cap. Unless it's something specifically related to Mario 64. Okay. At least I don't think they have. Possible they did, and I just don't know. Uh-oh. Crash landing, crash landing, crash landing. Ow! Okay, I need more speed. Oh, come on. I was 6 away. I was 2 away. Alright. Well. Also, I'm not sure why the D-pad... Is there a reason the D-pad is also R&D to move? Probably because the Nintendo 64 only had one joystick, so all of the joysticks do the same thing. There we go. I'm hovering, I'm hovering, I'm hovering, I'm hovering, I'm hovering, I'm hovering, I'm hovering. Uh-oh. I wasn't paying attention to my time. Okay. Okay, this one's... Okay. Land. Pick up another wing cap. Since you're... Yeah, you're close to dying on that one. Also, I believe this is where the... I'm not entirely sure off the top of my head, but I believe this is where the origin of Rainbow Mario's 3D theme comes from. I'm not going high enough. Yeah. That initial pass is enough to get you off the ground, but once you're done with that, you kind of can't do it anymore. So you need to do it all in one pass. And that's not fun. I mean, it is. I enjoy the game, but it's not... Ah! Where am I going? I'm trying to get that one circle of rings. Please let me have them. Fortunately, they're all set in incremental places around the stage, so you know where they are. The stage itself is not very big, so it's relatively easy to get what you need. Uh-oh. Yeah, no! Mario's dead! Except not, he's fine. Scan? Come on, I'm just trying to get that... Yeah, I know in the DS remake there's something you can do with those 4 towers. I don't think they did it. I don't think they did anything with it for the, I don't think they did anything with it for the, original 64 version. At least not to my knowledge. They very well could have, and I have no idea. I've never played the original Mario 64. All I know is that some of the stars in the original are a little bit different to the DS version. And on top of that, the DS version has more of them. Okay. If I can just get those first 2 in my first pass, I will be fine. But unfortunately, the game is conspiring against me so that I cannot, in fact, do that. I would very much like to, but the game doesn't seem to be letting me. Oh, and I missed those. I can't get, yeah, oddly enough, it's the ones that are the lowest I can't get. I can't get those. I can get all the other ones just fine, but those are giving me trouble. Okay. Reset. I'm enjoying this, but I need to... I have always remembered this one gave me trouble in the DS version, so I'm not surprised it's giving me trouble now. Yeah, I made the right call. I've always struggled with the triple jump. Don't judge me. Alright. There we go. I need to get higher. Yeah, I'm dead. Okay. This one's giving me trouble. Hopefully not as much as the penguin one did, but it is still giving me trouble. Okay, I can do this though. Why is it the two of the stars I've decided to do back to back have specifically been ones that have giving me trouble? I don't understand how that's possible. That doesn't make a lick of sense. How I managed to pick 2 stars, and they managed to both be the ones that are hard for me. I'm not sure how I managed to pull that off. Okay. Okay, but in any case. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Mario needs to stop gaining air when I don't want him to gain air. That's what needs to happen. Oh, but maybe now he needs to. Out of the world! Come on! I just want to get those 2 down there. That's all I want. And to maybe get some others in the game as well. I want to get them all, but I can't. Those first 2 are tricky. First 2 are tricky. Oh, there's... I don't have enough air to get to that one. I know with a cannon you can get some pretty good air with time, but... there's unfortunately no cannon in this stage. Alright, but I want to get this one. I want to get this one. This one's not hard. I've gotten 6 coins a couple of times now. So it's clearly not hard. Being said, if I keep missing, it's going to be a lot harder than I want it to be. Also, I remember in the DS version, only Mario can come in here. Anybody else tries, they fall right to their doom. They die immediately. Because they cannot use the wing cap while Mario can. Okay. Well, I'm gonna make a couple more. I'm gonna make a couple more attempts on camera because I don't want this to drag on any longer than it should. If I can't get it, fine. If not, fine. Actually, how many power stars do I need to open up Bowser's thing? I'm gonna check that. Oh, I'm good. I can go fight Bowser for the first time now if I wanted to. Recognize star power. The door slowly opens. Yep. I could go do this now. If I need to, I can come back and get a star, but for the time being, I think it's just a matter of me coming in and finishing things off with Bowser. That's the whole reason I came in here. Okay, that's the next two that I want. Or not! I can completely miss the ones that I want and go completely off script. If that's what happens a lot in my videos, everything goes completely wrong. And now I'm going to fall and die. Help, 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 help. Okay. Aww. I flew too close to the ground and I fell out. Aw, man. Alright, one last attempt and then we're gonna go fight Bowser next episode. Alright, well... Yeah, I need 80 power stars to actually go and fight Bowser the final time, so... We have a lot that we need. That's most of them. That's most of them, but you don't need all of them to go fight Bowser. That's... There is a reward... There isn't much of a reward for collecting all 120 stars, I'll be honest. It's just a little bit of text. It says that Bowser's a little bit surprised that you found them, and it claims he must have missed some. That's the only thing you really get for a 100%ing the game, I think. Other than a cameo from Yoshi. I think that's it. Yoshi just shows up at the end of the game and gives you a whole bunch of one-ups. Which, as I pointed out in earlier episodes, is completely useless. You don't need 100. You don't need not a max lives because the game resets if you close the game. So what would you need 99 lives for? All right. You would never need that many lives in a single playthrough. You just wouldn't. It doesn't make any sense why they would give you that many. Yeah. Oh? Oh? Oh! One more? One more? Where am I? Where am I? Where am I in relation to the tower? Where am I in relation to it? I was way off course. Alright, well I got 7 out of 8. That's close. I'm determined now. I'm determined now. I got so close yet so far. Yeah. Yeah, but I should mention, since I did bring up the plot a few minutes ago, Mario games aren't particularly known for their plot. They're very simple games that anybody can pick up and play. And by the fact that even someone like me who hasn't really played Mario all that much can easily get into a game and just futz around and eventually learn the controls. I've never played the original Mario 64. I played the DS remake, but the DS remake has a somewhat different control scheme with some added stuff, so I don't really know. But the whole point is that Shigeru Miyamoto, the guy who created Mario, was like, I want Mario games to be as approachable as humanly possible. that was his goal for making the Mario games. And it worked because Mario is now a household name. He feels like, Shigeru Miyamoto is one of those guys who feels like not all video games require a plot. Something like Mario obviously doesn't need a plot since it's pretty simple and straightforward. Like Bowser kidnapped Peach, go save her. It's always that. But then there's games like there's other games he made like The Legend of Zelda where it's like, yeah, this game definitely needs more of a plot structure. This game's a very big fantasy open world type thing. We should probably make it so that the game actually has some semblance of a plot. And if you guys don't know, that's actually one of the reasons why Paper Mario kind of fell apart around the 4th entry. Because Shigeru Miyamoto, because as I said, Miyamoto doesn't think Mario games is a plot, and Paper Mario is, by all technically speaking, a Mario game. So, even though it is a spin-off, but he felt that Mario games shouldn't have a complex plot, and after a few entries, the plot for Paper Mario just kind of went off the rails a whole bunch. So he decided to step in and give his opinion when the 4th game came out and said that they definitely needed to scale back some of the more RPG-ish elements because he felt that the game had gotten too plot-centric, and that's not what Mario is. And sure enough, they did that. They made Paper Mario 6 Star. It's not a great Paper Mario game, but for a first. But if you've never played a JRPG before, it's a pretty good way of learning all the rules. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good way of learning rules and resource management and stuff like that. It's very good in that regard. It's just the problem is that the first 3 entries had great stories, and then Sticker Star came along and was just like, hey, instead of a story, how about stickers? Am I right? And people weren't particularly happy with that, and that's understandable. Now, I mean, Paper Mario was originally known for its plot as simple and straightforward as it was, and kind of sort of all over the place, even though it wasn't particularly hard to understand. But you could tell by starting with the 2nd entry, it's definitely got a little it's definitely gotten a little nuts. Basically, like the games used to be very straight. This first game was very straightforward, and people loved it. But then Thousand Year Door came along and completely changed the way Paper Mario worked. So they started doing that. Then Super Paper Mario happened, and it really didn't have anything to do with Mario, and that's why they changed it. Super Paper Mario was kind of just, it's a really great game story-wise, but it has little to do with the actual Mario, and I think that's where Miyamoto decided to step in. He decided that they finally crossed the line, and he wanted it to be a lot more simple and straightforward. So they scaled it back. And they did eventually sort of regain momentum with Sticker Star, not with Sticker Star, but with Origami King, which is definitely one of my personal favorites. But actually, it's the only one I've played, so of course it's my personal favorite. But yeah, and long story short, Origami King kind of made a great mix of what Paper Mario should be. It was made for casual fans in mind, but people who were old fans of the series would like it as well. That's the kind of thing they went into it with. That's the kind of thing they wanted to do with it, and it worked. It's a great game. It is. Some people aren't particularly happy with it because they got disappointed twice in a row. So obviously they still got some things they need to work out in the fandom wise, but obviously they have at the very least tried to make Paper Mario great again. So yeah. So yeah, they've been trying to fix some of Paper Mario's problems, and it's showing. They are indeed making some efforts toward fixing the games, and I hope they continue to strive to make them get great again, because Paper Mario kind of needs it more than any other franchise. It was a beloved franchise, and it fell from grace. It was a beloved side franchise, and it kind of forgot what it was supposed to be about. So it kind of lost itself and fell into an identity crisis, which is why the games have only started getting good again. It didn't know what it wanted to be, and it fell apart because of it. And also, I'm terrible. I got 7 the last time, and now I'm screwing up. Well, a couple of terms ago, but I've mostly been rambling about the state of the Paper Mario franchise. That's what I've been doing for the past 35 minutes. Well, 10, but 10. I've only started recently doing that, but the point still stands. I've been rambling about whatever I want to talk about because this takes a while. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but now I've unlocked the wing cap. The wing cap's important. I'm assuming I'm going to need... I definitely need the wing cap to get some of them, unless I can brute force it if I can, but... Yeah, I'm not getting enough momentum to do this. I need a lot more momentum. If I can do this, I can. But... in any case, yeah, if you guys were curious as to why Paper Mario kind of sucked for a while, quote unquote, that would be why. They just decided to make it to gear the game toward casual fans. And hell, they even made a good game with Color Splash. It's not. I mean, yeah, it's not what fans particularly wanted, but that doesn't mean it's a bad game. It's actually I've seen playthroughs of it. It's actually pretty good. But yeah, it's not. It's just they had problems with the IP had an identity crisis around between the third and fourth entry, and they've been trying to fix it and backtrack and figure out try to recapture the magic of Paper Mario. They haven't quite succeeded. They decided to take a different route because it's a new team behind the games, but they are definitely working on trying to make the games good in their own way. I mean, Origami King isn't the same as what Thousand Year Door was, and Thousand Year Door is apparently a fan favorite, so I probably shouldn't talk smack about it, but... Oh. Oh, come on. Okay. Okay, I need one more. But yeah, people are mainly upset because it's not Thousand Year Door. They stopped making games that are similar to Thousand Year Door, and people aren't particularly happy about that because, again, Thousand Year Door is a fan favorite, but if someday, I don't know, maybe, I mean, they have definitely made leaps and bounds toward actually making Paper Mario the way it used to be, so... is it perfect? Probably not, definitely not, but it's getting there. Origami King was great. The battle system definitely is a bit finicky to get the grips of, which was the main criticism of the game. Everything else got top marks, but if they can work out the battle system and then just repeat what they did for Origami King, it'll work fine. It'll be a great experience. They just need to finally work out the battle system, and then they'll have a perfect game again. They'll finally have perfected Paper Mario again. They'll have things fans want. They'll have things all fans want, and there's really nothing else to say about that. They could finally fix Paper Mario. But where am I going? Oh, come on! You know what, I'm resetting this. That is rough. It's rough. But I am enjoying talking about this kind of stuff. I don't get to talk about this kind of stuff often, mainly when I'm not focusing, and I'm not very focusing particularly hard because it's a red coin mission. You don't need to focus particularly hard for those. But, yeah, I like these. I like to sometimes make podcasty style videos of these. Sometimes I'd like to just ramble and talk about the kind of things I want to talk about, and I don't always get the opportunity to do those. That's partially why I played Minecraft. It gave me the perfect opportunity to talk to you guys about stuff that was on my mind while performing monotonous tasks. That's all. That's just the kind of game it is. That's just the kind of games that I sometimes like to make. I like to make videos like that. I don't always get the opportunity to make them, but when I do, I'm dying. Okay. Yeah, but when I do, I hope they're interesting to watch. I don't make them very often, and I would like to make them more, but I know they're typically very long, and people don't particularly like longer videos, but that's to be expected. Longer videos, not everybody can sit down for an hour and watch a video. That's perfectly fine. I've been trying to make shorter videos as well to try and compensate for that, but the problem is that YouTube kind of did a thing with short-form videos so that short-form videos no longer work. The entire site is designed in a way that you're supposed to just sit down and play and watch videos for as long as possible. And they're very keen on doing that. So, but as a drawback, their algorithm actually destroys short-term videos. Like, short-form videos are kind of dead as a... That was not what I meant to do. Short-form videos are kind of dead, technically speaking. They're still around. People still make them. I'm making some of them myself, but the problem is that YouTube is just kind of moving away from the whole short-term video thing. They want people to stay on the site as long as possible, and to that end, their algorithm has been punishing shorter video stuff. So, it's not a bit... It's kind of weird and kind of screwy that they would do that, but it is what it is. I do like doing YouTube, so I probably won't be leaving the platform anytime soon, but yeah, unlike my friend Spectre, who abandoned ship as soon as he found out that the apocalypse was a thing, but Spectre kind of just moved to Twitch, and that's what he's been doing full time now. And better for him. If he can find a platform where he can grow a following, then fine. If it's not YouTube, then fine. That's great for him. I'm actually proud of how much he's grown in the past couple of years since I've talked to him. He's been growing well, but yeah. I hope to one day do live streams, but I can't because my computer is a potato. But yeah, YouTube is a bit of a mess, and some content creators don't upload exclusively to YouTube anymore. There's nothing wrong with that, but it is kind of like the ecosystem of YouTube is slowly but surely changing. Like, for example, I used to be able to monetize videos, and now I can't. Oh, okay. I used to be able to monetize videos, and now I can't. But that's not the fault of YouTube. It was just that they felt that some people were abusing the copyright system, aka Logan Paul or Jake Paul, or the Paul brothers. They kind of showed up and screwed everything up, and they got a whole bunch of views, and then the trending chat broke, and they were able to make a whole bunch of bank off that, and that's why they changed the policy surrounding monetization. And that, to be fair, somebody ruining the platform for everybody else is nothing new. That's why they always recuperate and do and why the adpocalypse is a term that comes around in the YouTube algorithm, in the YouTube ecosystem every now and then again. Because that's a thing. That's an actual thing. People sometimes ads just disappear without any real rhyme or reason. And for that reason, sometimes people just feel like, oh, the channel isn't, the things aren't family friendly, and every time some big scary policy change is announced by YouTube, the content creators immediately fear the worst because they're like, how is this going to screw us now? How is YouTube going to screw us over? And it never actually winds up being a thing. YouTube has almost died on itself several times now, and people are still posting content to it. So obviously, it's not going to be a problem anytime soon. But, aww. Ow! Mario, are you okay, man? That had to have hurt. Also, I'm getting PTSD from the penguin because the main track is the one that plays on the... Okay. But yeah, YouTube has almost died on itself a couple of times. The last big thing was that the YouTube had to be COPPA compliant, which it was, but it started bragging about how safe for kids it was when there was content on the platform that really wasn't made for kids. But it was COPPA compliant. It's just that YouTube decided to brag about itself, and that's what caused people to become upset with it and abandon ship. That's why COPPA cracked down on YouTube, and that's why people kind of had a bit of a big scare about it because they weren't entirely sure what that meant for the future of their jobs. A lot of people do make a living off YouTube, and if COPPA is going to cause some problems, then that's a completely big thing. And Chad Tronic and the YouTuber Chad Tronic actually made a big stink about it. He made his own thing. And he went over all the different policies that were actually in COPPA, and he pointed out that basically it could have spelled the end of YouTube if it wasn't interpreted properly. It could have caused very big problems, but it didn't. I'm just gonna fly out of the stage. But it didn't cause problems. But because of how vague the stuff in it actually was, it very well could have been a big problem if not interpreted correctly. Basically the idea is that if you're not good, if you don't mark that your video is made for kids or not made for kids and aren't compliant, then they'll fine you. That's basically just what it is. If they'll fine you, they'll take all of your ad revenue if you're not family friendly. I try to be, if you don't mark your videos as made for kids, you'll be fine. But the problem is that But the problem is that sometimes the video sometimes things just happen that cause YouTubers to freak out, and that's fine. YouTubers make a living off of YouTube, and if there's something that manages to hurt their livelihood, then yeah, they're going to panic a little bit, and it's going to cause problems for everybody involved. It doesn't necessarily always happen, but I don't think there's ever been an actual instance where YouTube has ever been in danger of exploding on itself, but the possibility definitely exists. Okay. I don't know. I'm not good enough with the wing cap once it finally lands. It's very hard to get your momentum back once you've taken off a second time. It's very hard to get your momentum back. And I don't really know how to do it. I'm not good enough with the wing cap because it, again, has only ever appeared in one game. Also, something else that's ever appeared in one game, and technically speaking, is so this is a bit of a useless ability, but it does exist. There's a Kirby copy ability that's a more offensive version of his ability to copy abilities. Yeah, it's very stupid. It basically just turns your copy ability into a beam, and then you can copy things and become basically the idea is that you can use it to make a helper, and the helper can also be Kirby. But I don't really particularly like it. Hello. I don't particularly. Oh. Okay, yeah, I don't particularly like it because it's very redundant. Kirby can already copy things, so the only reason you would really want it is to make another character that can also be Kirby. But yeah, it's kind of pointless. It exists, and it's the only way. And there is a game mode where it actually does come in handy called Milky Way Wishes, where you're actually supposed to use copy abilities, and you can't get copy abilities the normal way. So the copy ability is the only way to actually get those items that you need and become a copy ability user. That's the only way you can get a copy ability. Ow. Alright, where's my coins? There's the two lower ones. That I should probably go for those. Yeah, but basically the main reason you want to make the copy ability is so that you can use it to create a take helper, which basically just has the same exact moveset as Kirby. He can copy other abilities and become a different helper, and then he can discard them. That's the only purpose that the copy ability actually has. It's only ever in Kirby Superstar, which is coincidentally one of my favorite games. And then its remake Superstar Ultra, which again is also one of my favorite games. That's the one version I played, but I'm not getting high enough to actually get what I need. And I'm getting a phone call. Hello? Hi.
Hey, buddy. How are you?
Good.
How was your day?
Good.
Excellent. What are you doing?
I'm recording. Why? Do you want me to come down?
No, I'm not home, honey. I'm still at Papa's.
Oh. When are you coming home?
I'm coming home in the morning.
Oh. Okay.
I was just curious if Dad was home or if he was driving Sarah.
I don't know.
Okay, because you're recording.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right. I'll see you in the morning then.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye, honey.
Bye. All right, but what was I saying? Yeah, the copy. That's really the only reason the copy ability actually exists. That is makes Milky Way. It completely negates the gimmick of Milky Way Witches, which is also again kind of pointless since the whole point is it was the last copy ability I found when playing Milky Way Wishes. So by that point I had already unlocked all the other ones. So I was like, why do I even need this? I can become any copy ability I want at the push of a button. Why do I need to worry about, why do I need this? This doesn't seem helpful. I can become any copy ability I want now. Why would I ever pick this up? But it's just one of those weird things that just is in the game. And sometimes developers do weird stuff. And the whole purpose is that you're supposed to use it as a take, but you don't always have take very often. There's other more, well, not necessarily more useful, but helpers don't last very long in Superstar. They die very quickly because they run into things and then they are dead. I'm jumping off because I can't actually get any momentum once I pick up the wing cap again. But yeah, it's very weird. But game developers will game develop though. I do enjoy it when game developers do some really cool stuff though. Like, for example, this was revolutionary for its time. This was the first time Mario had I think this was the first 3D, well, technically 3D game, but it was a big step. It was Mario on the 3D, and he was actually looked like Mario. This was a big step. And then they also did a weird demo with a I'm going to, yeah, there goes my helper hat. But yeah, this was the first game they ever made, and then they also made a sequel. They also made a kind of sequel called Super Mario 128. That one didn't wind up being the sequel. The sequel, of course, is Super Mario Sunshine. But you want to know what happened in that game? That game apparently became the basis for Pikmin. Mario was the inspiration for Pikmin. If you guys are curious where that series came from, there was a demo. There's a demo at E3 one year for a game where you controlled up to 100 Marios at once, and it was very interesting, very cool. And then it didn't wind up working. And then it didn't wind up working out for an actual Mario game. It did wind up being the inspiration behind Pikmin. And then they made the original Pikmin for the GameCube, which is the same platform that Mario Sunshine came out. I'll play that one when I finish Mario 64, but Pikmin 3 is getting a remaster sometime at the end of this month. So I'm definitely going to play that. Don't worry about that. I'm kind of new to Pikmin, but basically each Pikmin has its own abilities and tasks, and you can play as them whenever you want. There's some of my, I think my favorite, favorite is the Rock Pikmin from 3. It's definitely one of my favorites because it's very sturdy and hard to kill. It's immune to crush damage, so which for the longest time was plaguing players of Pikmin. So yeah, the fact that they added a Pikmin in that's now completely immune to crushing damage, that's a big deal. That is a big thing. That's something that people wanted for a long time. But also something else interesting is that there's actually a boss in the first Pikmin game that is able to inflict poison, and the only Pikmin that's immune to poison was the white Pikmin, but the white Pikmin wasn't introduced until the second game. So basically, you're fighting a boss with an ability that with resistance that doesn't exist yet. It's a cool concept, and you do have to fight it to actually get some special rewards from it. But yeah, the original Pikmin is interesting. You basically find all of your ship parts within 30 days or you die. It's very simple and straightforward, but one that's on, come on, come on, come on. Okay, but in any case, but yeah, yeah, basically you find all your ship parts within 30 days, and if you find all your ship parts, then there's 3 endings depending on how many ship parts you get. So it is more in your best interest to find them all, since there are mandatory ship parts that you need to find, but then finding them all will completely clean up the ship, and then you can actually do things with that. That's kind of cool. There's basically 3 endings. One where he crash lands, one where he has all of his ship parts but doesn't make it. And then one where he skips with all his ship parts, but in order to do that, you need to fight the quote-unquote final boss. So yeah, the final boss got ruined in Pikmin 2, but because they made him an irregular enemy, and he's kind of a pushover in that game. So yeah, that should tell you. Sometimes Pikmin has problems. There's actually a 4th game called Hey Pikmin, but people don't like it because it turned the concept of Pikmin into a 2D platformer, and not everybody's particularly happy with that. I think that's a cool idea because it's technically a spin-off, but they haven't made a 4th Pikmin game yet. That Miyamoto also, again, he made Pikmin. But Miyamoto has actually expressed interest in actually making a 4th Pikmin game, but he doesn't know if it'll do well because Pikmin is kind of one of their more obscure titles. So they've remastered. That's why they're remastering it for the Switch, to see if they can get a bigger audience and see if people do indeed care about Pikmin enough that it warrants another sequel. And that's not a problem. If Pikmin 4 does wind up being made, that's just a good thing, because Pikmin's an interesting case for a video game. It's definitely different from some of the other games they made, but and now I'm falling. But it's definitely different from some of the other games that Miyamoto has made, because your idea is that you control 100 characters at once and ask them to do tasks. So it's not so much an action type game. It's not so much an action platformer like Mario would be, but actually I think it's just a standard platformer, but it's not like one of those. But it's one of those games that's just you have to. It tests how well you can multitask. So if you get multitask, you'll be fine. But Pikmin is a rough game to get to grips with if you don't know what you're doing. And I've never played a Pikmin game, and I'm about to do that. So. Uh-oh. Oh, I fell out of the world. Yeah, I'm gonna play Pikmin for you guys. I will, eventually, but when it comes out, of course. But it'll be a different kind of game for me. I've never played Pikmin before, so yeah. The first game comes out, and I'm going to play it. I'm not entirely sure how the game plays, so it'll be interesting all around. Aww, I missed one. I'm missing a lot. This is not good. Yeah, if I can get them all before I have to land, that would be very helpful. But yeah, Pikmin is definitely different. I enjoy Pikmin. I do enjoy the idea of Pikmin because it's basically one of those, hey, because, well, spoilers, maybe, but the entire idea of Pikmin is that, it's set on a post-apocalyptic Earth, and the idea is that eventually Olimar starts coming along with his Pikmin army, and he sees that, and he finds out that all of our old whatever happened to us stuff is valuable on his planet, so he starts raiding it with Pikmin. He starts using the native Pikmin to harvest resources that he needs to actually pay off his planet's debt. And it's a cool concept. He goes through in the first game. He figures out he gets stranded there initially, but he brings something back with him that he's not entirely sure what is. He comes back, and when he comes back, his ship gets repossessed. But he finds out that he can actually buy his ship back by exploring the planet and just finding our shit and pawning it, basically. It's just that's the story of Pikmin. Yeah, it's a very different. As I said, it's a very different type of game, but that is indeed the lore of Pikmin. And also Olimar from that game is supposed to be a stand-in for Mario, and their names are anagrams in one another, but with the exception of a misplaced L, but they are anagrams from another. If you remove the L from Olimar, it spells Mario. You can make Mario out of that with an extra L. But yeah, the game is very different, and it does show that that Pikmin does still take its Mario inspiration to heart, because the main character is called Olimar, and is based off of Mario, and also the main enemy, the Bulborbs, they're also based off of the mushrooms from the Mario series, which I think is an interesting touch. I need that coin, and I'm going to die. If I don't miss the first time, if I can get them all on the first pass, that'll be helpful. But yeah, Olimar is very similar to Mario. That's not a surprise. He's very similar. He's the kind of no nonsense type character who will do whatever. Yeah, and the lore of Pikmin is definitely fascinating. It's not in your nose about it, but there are some definite implications behind it. For example, Louis is implied to actually be a bad guy. He's your helper for the game, but that doesn't mean he's helpful. Oh, I need one more. Where is it? There it is. Ow! I need one more. But yeah, Louis is not helpful. In fact, the whole reason you're going to pawn your ship is because he ate something. He's later revealed to have eaten something that was important for their economy, and you have to pawn, and that's why they're pawn your ship when you get back. If Louis ate something that was important to them, lied about what actually happened, and now you have to clean up his mess. And then the third game, which is what's getting a remaster, is that you have to save your planet from starvation. It's a different species from what Olimar is, but basically they're trying to save their planet from starvation because they didn't plan ahead, and now their planet is on the brink of collapsing because they exhausted all their food supplies. They didn't plan ahead, and now they're dying. And so basically you come to the planet to harvest fruit and maybe kill some local Pikmin. Well, not some local Pikmin, but use the Pikmin to kill some local creatures that are going to make your life a living hell. But, it's definitely an interesting game. Can I get it with one more pass? I'm sorry this episode is long, by the way. I'm just rambling. And I don't really care. But, Mondays. I know Monday isn't going to be. It's going to be a rough day for me from going on because I've started a new job. That's just the long story of it. I started a new job, and they have that. I'm not allowed to say what it is because they don't allow you to identify as an employee unless if you work there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But what they basically, they don't allow you to identify as an employee if you're not respectful online, which too late. I've been doing this for 4 years. You think I'm dignified on the internet? I'm definitely not. Okay, I'm going overboard. But yeah, I started a new job. They have some rough hours, and I'm trying to do some things with that. I just want to... Basically, it's a good job. Don't get me wrong. It's a fun job. I enjoy doing it. But basically, the idea is... But basically, the idea is that it's a very interesting... It's just an interesting job. That's all I'm gonna say. But basically, I'm not gonna have as much time as I want to record videos, which is fine. I need a part-time job because I can't keep going into my reserves of money forever and always until I go bankrupt and have to sell the shirt off my back to make ends meet. But Not that it matters because I live in my parents' house, but it's fine. Ow. I'm just gonna go overboard. But, yeah, but yeah, basically, long story short, I got a job, and now I have income again. So, yay. Not my original job. My original job is long gone, but my original job is now, might be closed forever because I used to, if you guys don't know, I used to work in an aftercare. Yeah, the aftercare was dependent on school hours, but since school is more or less closed, for obvious reasons, yeah, I kind of can't go back to, like, the kids kind of can't go back to school, and even if they want to go back to school, they can't, because it's very, but yeah, the problem is that, unfortunately not everybody wants to enroll in the program anymore. So we're in a spot of trouble, and there's not many staff that are being kept on. So, yeah, maybe eventually someday I'll get that job back and I'll start making money off of it again, but I have my doubts. I have my doubts that it will ever come back and I will ever make money from that particular job again. Not that it matters because I like my new job and probably won't quit ever. So, okay. Come on. Kill myself. But yeah, my old job just disappeared, so I got a new job. And I like my new job. My new job is fun. Not that my old job wasn't fun, but, I mean, I got to play with kids every day. That's very fun. But, yeah, basically, yeah, there's just a problem involving, I'm gonna kill myself again. Not that I can kill myself, but you get my point. But yeah, I want to. If I miss a coin, I'm not going to be able to pick it up. So that's why I'm killing myself. But yeah, hopefully one day I get to do this for my job. I'm not entirely sure when that's gonna be, because it's dependent on you guys spreading the word about my channel and telling everybody how much you love me playing Mario 64 on a Nintendo Switch, and how cool that is, and how you want to see more of my content, and how amazing it is. And some of you have voiced that, but I do need people to share the channel so that I can actually grow and maybe one day make a living off of it, because that is it's a very big deal if I can do that. That would be a very big deal. I can be self-employed, I can make videos whenever I want, and I can work on some bigger projects that I've been working on but having trouble keeping off the ground. For example, I have one that I've teased during the anniversary, and I've been trying to get it off the ground, but it's a much longer video, and I'm not entirely sure what I'll be able to do for that timing wise. So I don't know. I need to figure it out around my work schedule, but it'll be fine. Yeah, I can't get high enough to actually get what I need. Can't get high. I can't get high enough. That's why I kill myself when I get the wing cap again. Because I can't get high enough, and then it causes problems for me. But, yeah. I'm running out of stuff to ramble about, but basically I enjoy my job. That's the whole takeaway you need to. That's the whole thing you need to take away from this. It's just I'm rambling about the things I like, and I hope you guys enjoy that. I don't know. Maybe if I should make a podcast or something at some point. I don't know how well that would go over, but I could make a podcast. That's not a big deal. It's not a big deal to make. I can do that. That would be fun. I could make a podcast, but I don't think I'm going to. Maybe if there's enough interest in it, I'll make a podcast, but I actually do have an idea for a name for a podcast, actually. But I'm not entirely sure what the podcast would be about. I don't really know what I would do for a podcast. I would need to listen to other podcasts and figure that out. But I would definitely need to listen to podcasts and figure out what kind of podcast I would like to make if I do decide to make a podcast. I'm not entirely sure how to make a podcast, but it could be interesting to make a podcast. So I think, I don't know, maybe someday I will make a podcast, but I'm not entirely sure where I would put it. Maybe YouTube, maybe SoundCloud, somewhere. I have an idea for a name, but I'm not entirely sure what I would call it. I'm not entirely sure what I would talk about on the podcast. Maybe just video stuff like this. I know I need to make points, bullet points and stuff like that. I know that's a thing I need to do, but I'm gonna kill myself. I'm gonna try. Actually, I've been doing this for over an hour, so maybe I should wrap it up if I can't do it after this last thing. But, basically the idea is... that, I could very well make a podcast. I'm good at the talking part, but I'm definitely good at the rambling part. So, it would definitely be more structured than a video like this, but, yeah, I could definitely, in theory, make a podcast and make it entertaining, I think. It's just... I'm not entirely sure what I would do for it, but... yeah, I'm just gonna... Okay, well, I didn't wind up getting a second Power Star like I wanted, but I have enough Power Stars to actually get into Bowser's Fortress, which is what I need to do. I need to go in and fight Bowser and get through that big major star. So, yeah, that's the next place I need to go, and also there's in here, but I don't... I know what this level is, and I'm not coming to go to it. Let's just say it's related to, the penguin one. It's related to the slide one in the ice level, so we're not going to be doing that, but, we're not going to be doing that just yet, but basically, long story short, is, thank you guys so much for listening, I guess. Just, not even watching the video, just sticking your phone in your pocket, just listening to it. And watch time. That's a big thing, and I would thank you for watching watching or listening all the way through to the end. But in case, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. We're gonna be battling Bowser next time, so thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, be sure to follow me on Facebook and on Twitter in the description below. And also, be sure to check out my Patreon in the description below as well. It's only a couple bucks a month. It really helps me out, and you guys get access to a bunch of cool perks that I'm always saying thanks. So be sure to check those out in the description below as well. But in any case, thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!